Welcome to the latest episode of Let Me Be Frank podcast with myself, Simon Houston, the man himself, Frank McAvenny, and today's guest, Jimmy Nicholl.
How you doing?
A proper football legend. Jimmy, thanks very much for joining us.
Tell
you what, I mean, Frank's got this habit of pulling out the big guns. You've done it again.
Well, it's one of them. You think about who you played for, Jimmy. It's incredible who the teams that you've been with. I mean, Man United was the biggest, obviously, down there. I mean, it was huge. When I was down south and you were there, and you were there before me.
But you weren't down there in the 70s when they were getting relegated.
No, I wasn't down in the 70s.
Well, no.
I was there. You were at West Brom when I was at.
Yeah.
West
but
Ham.
you're going. Oh, that's you jumping up now to about.
I know, but you were at Man United first.
84.
That's what I'm saying. But you've been all over.
11 years at Man United.
I was there.
Boy and man. No?
71 to 82.
A testimonial.
2 years at Preston, and I was due a testimonial.
Did you?
I made a mistake.
Oh, you never.
At a year, Dave Sexton was a manager. Dave offered me a 3-year contract. Mm-hmm. We raised my wages, testimonial. Thought, brilliant. Never ever had a say none for you. As you know, the kids saying, straight from school, they don't get. So I thought, great, all right then. So they decided to sack Dave in the summer. But finished runners up to Liverpool. I said, I come, it's the closest I've ever been to win the league. I come and sack the manager. But the fact was that I found out later on, but Man United being the club it is, and you got to have, something. I love Dave too. He was great. He was great to me, yeah. But we had 42 games you played, but 21 home games. And the 21 home games with 13 draws, and 8 of them were 0-0. So that's sort of, it's great. You've runners up there. You're not like flamboyant and all this carry on.
Hard to beat.
So they sacked him, and Big Ron Atkinson got the job. And I was the start of my downfall.
Is that?
Yeah, because he came into the club in the summer of 81, and I went in the club after my holidays, and the secretary says, the manager's around the corner in his office, go say hello. And I went and rapped the door. I says, hello boss, how you doing? All right, it's Jimmy Nicholl. All right, son, I hope it goes well for you in the job. He says, sit down. I said, I'm just in here by my contract. Dave offered me a 3-year contract with testimonial a year to go, and I raised me. He says, I know all about it. I said, oh great. He says, but I put the block on it.
Oh no.
Straight away. And he said, do you think you're fast? I said, oh jeez. Well, I have to give myself a yard against Tony Morley. Remember him?
Aye.
I said, I've got to give myself a yard against Tony Morley. But the rest of them, no. All right. No, I said, well, I don't think you're quick. I don't think you can defend properly. You can't hit a ball and you can't tackle. He went through the whole rabbit.
You don't like me?
So I said, he says, so I'll tell you what's happening. He says, Mickey Thomas is going to Everton and John Gidman's coming in. Straight swap or whatever it was. And I just said, right, well, thanks for being upfront and honest. Just get me on a transfer list. They'll give me a wee chance to find a club. And he said, no, don't be too hasty. He says, don't. He says, I've seen you play sweeper a few times, and I think there's a wee place for you there at sweeper and all, And Martin Buchan was a sweeper. No chance. He's a captain. It's sweeper. I've got no chance of ever playing sweeper. And he said, we'll see how it goes. And he said, there's 2 games, or a pre-season. 5 games, says you play 2, Martin will play 2, and the 5th one, if you do all right, you'll play a sweeper and you'll start the season. And the way he said it, as if it's a definite.
It's kind of used to,
as if, but I turned around and said, can I see something, man? I'm right back. Martin Buchan's right side centre half. So at right back, I'm too slow, I can't tackle, I can't defend properly, I can't hit a ball. But if I walk 20 yards in there, so all I have to do is go left, to look left and go there, and I'll be quick, I can hit a ball, I can defend properly, I won't say what, but I said, fucking, just stick me on the transfer list and get me, and I was a start of downfall. I think the first game, he made me, I was sub against Spurs, I came on with about 15, 20 minutes to go, and then next week they played somebody and I wasn't even in the squad. And I rapped the door on the Monday. Well, he said, you didn't show me enough against Spurs.
15 minutes.
So it's just loads of things. I ended up playing for the reserves all season. But that was the start of it, you know, so.
I know
But see that. At the time I felt really, you know, there's one man comes in and judges you and has his opinion as a player, and you know, your whole career and your whole lifestyle, your whole thing changes. And so I was resentful, and I thought, what the hell? When I was in the reserves all year, and I went out along to Sunderland. I loved that, and then, but then I thought, listen, 8 or 9 good years there.
Yeah.
So you lose that, you know. So
you could have had that testimonial, it would have set you up for life, and you know, you've done all right. You're still,
well,
now you're all these years on, you're assistant manager at Northern Ireland. So
still in the game.
Still in the game.
If I had that testimonial, Frank, I would have
been in the
Celtic. I might have got Celtic down for
I was going to say that. I was going to. Did you have in mind who you would have? Everyone chose Celtic for their testimonials because they knew
they bring 10, 15,000.
Aye.
But my first game for Man United was against Rangers.
Aye.
I was in. It was a March 9th, 1974.
What kind of match was it?
It was. Right. There's 2 marches that year, right? So, at 9th of March,
Aye.
I signed on the 1st of March, pro, at 17. 9th of March on a Saturday, they're playing Rangers in a friendly. Dundee beat Rangers 3-0 in the Scottish Cup. Ipswich beat Man U 1-0 in the English Cup. They decided to have a friendly at Old Trafford.
Oh.
And Tommy Docherty says, you're sub against Rangers, son, on the Saturday. And I said, oh, great. There was 22,000 there, 12 to 15,000 Rangers supporters.
Yeah, I know.
At the scoreboard end were all the Rangers supporters. And I was sub. And a boy, so a boy runs on from the Stratford I made a Celtic strip on, and he runs down the pitch, and all the Rangers supporters come on, the scoreboard. So it's all kicked off. So they get all the players off. Big Jack Wallace is out telling the Rangers supporters to get back in and all. I'm sitting there sub. I was like,
brilliant.
Back on that, the game restarts. Brian Green have scored. John Gregg equalised. Alec Forsyth went on to play for Rangers.
Yes.
Went 2-1 up. Derek Johnson equalised 2 each. In the 68th minute, I come on the 70th minute for Martin Buchan. I brought down Quinton Young. Penalty kicked the Rangers and win 3-2.
Aye, that's it.
That was my first game for Rangers. That night, maybe. I didn't know what to do, you know. I had mixed emotions, you know.
Did that get in as an assist?
Yes.
Yeah. And that night we're in the Shakespeare Bar, Manchester, just after the game. Maybe Arthur Albison, Dee McCreary, and we're there. I remember being in the Shakespeare, and all the Rangers boys are in there with their flutes and their drums and all, waiting on the train or the buses or something. And they're all there, and there's a boy there, and I shoot over. 3 pints, you drank Lager and Lime then, didn't you? You were probably in the champagne, but
Aye.
drank Lager. 3 pints of Lager and Lime, please. And this bloke turns around and he says, "You all right, Sean? Where are you from?" I said, "Belfast." And Rathkill, he says, "What are you doing over here?" I said, "Over for the game." "Oh, he's over. Hey lads, this young lad's over for the game today." 2 hours before, I'd give away the penalty kick for them to win 3-2.
Sure you didn't watch it.
And then I looked at it, and there were 16, just shows you the game. There were 16 Scottish players. Wow. 4 English. 4 Irish, 2 English. And 2 Scottish managers.
On the pitch that night?
On the pitch that day,
Aye.
3 o'clock in the afternoon. And 2 Scottish managers, Jack Wallace and Tommy Docherty.
Fantastic. And was Tommy Docherty doing you a favour, do you think, by giving you the opportunity to, you know, make your debut and that? Because
He did, but he didn't sound like it after the game. He said, "You little orange bastard."
So, did Tommy Docherty ever talk about his own sort of affections for Celtic or anything like that? Was
No, he didn't. No,
They really have anything?
no, yep. I had to read up about all that and just how good a player he was. And, you know,
I read the story as well about the turn he did for you and your family as well, by the house in Manchester when you were a young boy. I think you were only 16, were you? When
I was only 16.
Aye.
But
And he said when you go back, say to your folks, come over and live in Manchester. Was it maybe not simple as that, but it was
certainly wasn't as simple as that. You know, somebody rapped the door, because we used to go home the last Saturday of every month. So if I played on a Saturday, and then I would get the boat then, wherever it was, I'd get the boat from Liverpool overnight into Belfast, bus to Rathcoole, see my family. I have 2 young brothers and 2 young sisters, my man and dad, in Rathcoole, at the top. Rathcoole was great. Like. See them, and then have Sunday with them. And then Monday night, I'd get the boat Monday night back to Liverpool, do all of them. And you did that the last Saturday of every month, and then this particular Saturday. Friday, Tommy Docherty said, you're not going home, so. And I said, well, why? He says, you're not allowed, you're deaf, you're not allowed to go home. So it had the opposite effect on me, you know, so. So anyway, cut a long story short, somebody just came and rapped the door and get yourself out of that club, get your son out of that club. If you don't get your son out of that club, you just have to get out of the house. Because Man United was known as a Catholic club, you know, right. And which was a wee bit. So Tommy Doc says, right, go home, son. Bring your man there. I've got you a clubhouse. Bill Folks, the centre half, went to Chicago and hadn't been lived in for 18 months. He said, I found you a clubhouse in Sale in Cheshire, so that we got a car, picked up my man there. I wasn't driving, somebody from the club. And they picked my man down from Manchester Airport, and then we're driving this house. And I said, where are we going? He said, Sale in Cheshire. And it's a 3-bedroom detached with a garage in a cul-de-sac. And my dad taps me on the shoulder in the back. She says, all right, son, the fuck's a cul-de-sac? I have no idea. So that was the start of it. Right. And brilliant. So they went back. The women were there from the club with the big books, the wallpaper and the paint and all for my man. The boy was in the back garden cutting the grass and all they did. Brilliant. And then I said to Les Olive, the secretary, I said, Les, I can't afford that. I'm on £7 a week as an apprentice. He says, give me a £5 a month's rent until your dad gets a job. So that's what I did. Then I signed pro, and that was it. 2 weeks after. Well, no, 2 weeks later, then they go to get my brothers and sisters into school, local schools, and my man and dad went out. Then my dad found a job, and their whole life was changed around that. And what I did then, just from their security, if anything happened to me, somebody comes and doesn't fancy. I thought I had a good idea I was going to sign pro if they were going to go through that for me. So, but I would give the club £60 a year in advance. Because if anything happened to me, at least a year to. So I gave them £60 a year for 11 years.
But that was an indication of what they saw in you as a 16-year-old as well. I mean, that's a big commitment for any club to, you know, move a family, lock, stock and barrel to a new country, basically.
Well, I know, and that's why listen, football, everybody's saying, oh, this football's been great for me. I would never ever decry the game because it's done.
It's like you say, just one manager comes in and changes your life.
And that's what happened. So then I had a manager like me. Even when I was only 16. So it just happened like that. You know, you get these knockbacks later on. But I was saying the year before, I was talking, if I'd had that a wee setback at 15, no, you're not good enough, we don't want you, that would have been worse at 15 and 25. At 25, you can then turn around and say, listen, I've had a career so far.
And you've also
somebody's like me.
Yeah, and you've also got life experience behind you, as well, when you can maybe make a decision about what you're going to do next. But at 15 and 16, you probably, someone tells you you're crap, you believe it, you know, or whatever, and then
when Berry told me I wasn't going to make it, I told him he was talking shite.
Who told you?
Berry Holt.
Did he?
I told him I would never make it in football. When I went to trial with Thistle.
That's before something?
Aye.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Told me I would never make it. He says, you're not good enough for professional football. So, I never let him forget it.
I can imagine that.
You asked him why? Why? What did...
I was a wee skinny boy when I was a skinny boy, but, you know, ginger hair was that's one vest a match. Running about that match.
Did he ever apologise? Never say I was wrong?
No, I bet he'll never do that. But I kept seeing him at Celtic Park, and he loves to hold court, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And I used to go in and say, oh, what a good guy he is, a good judge of characters, and a good judge of player, and he's like. So then I went in one time and he's got a big entourage, and he says, you know, we had such a good team at Thistle, we couldn't even game a game.
I didn't want to hold his career.
You could never get the better of him, he was great. So.
Tommy Doc. You know what I loved about Tommy Doc? And I don't know how the Scottish people felt about him, and I don't know, but he was great for us. And there was a notice board there on a Friday morning, and you go to, there was a B team, as you know, there was a B team at 15, there was an A team at 16, and they'd be signed pro at 17, there was the reserves and the first team, there was 4 teams. But you knew if you're only 15, you arrive at the club, you're in the B team. Sometimes you might be in the A team, but you could be in the reserves, and so you'd go to this notice board every Friday morning, and then the oldie guy think, geez, I'm not in the A team, I'm not in the B team. I'm not in the A team, I must be down to B. No, I'm in the reserves. No, I'm not in the reserves. Geez, with the first team. Right. And he wasn't scared of big names.
No.
You know, so you had a wee chance, and he was good with the young ones. And I got in the team, I played Middlesbrough away. Alec Forsyth was a good player. He's a great player. Alec went on to play for Rangers fullback, and the supporters loved him. Right foot, left foot, shooting, scoring goals from 20 odd yards, up and down that wing. But I was opposite. I was more getting it and just no, but I was a different type, and took me a long time to get the supporters on side. Some of them never got on side, but because different type, and then but he kept me in a team. Played about 15, 16 games. We got to Middlesbrough away in the middle of December, and Tommy Doc pulls me before the game. He says, I'm going to leave you out tonight, son, and I'm going to bring back Alec. You've done great, but you're still developing. You know, I was only 18, 19 or something. He says, body's still developing. The pitches are getting heavy, you know. I says, he said, but you'll be playing at Old Trafford Saturday. I said, that's all right, then. And then didn't realise the reserves were at Old Trafford.
That's brilliant.
I said to Sammy Macker, one of the boys, you all right? I said, I'm not playing tonight, Alex back in, but I'm at Old Trafford Saturday. He said, the reserves are at Old Trafford.
That's a great manager. I like that. I like that.
And
you're now management, you're in management, you've been in management, you're assistant manager at Northern Ireland. What do you think of this? What you're talking about there on the board, the A teams and the reserves. I think football's fell away since they've stopped all this reserve football.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think it's a stupid decision.
Frank, I don't know who
makes a decision.
Who was in there, the older players, whenever you were growing up and developing and learning the game from. But I was a midfielder in them days, before they converted me to right back. I was in the middle of the park with George Graeme and Jim McCallie.
Brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, you're
learning so much in that one game. We used to, when it's the Mun, I used to go in the team, and the older boys coming back from injuries and just talking to you, just talking. And it gave me so much help. And then when I was at Celtic, if I get injured, you play in the reserve game. Whoever plays up front with you come on, go now, telling them. And it must be great for these young kids. It was great for me, and everyone I talk to say, you know, it's incredible how it helps so many people come through.
But the older players.
Yeah, but the older players coming in.
If they want. But the older ones sometimes are in reserves.
We're not talking about now, we're talking about when we played, it was years ago, and the boys were normally, 90% of them were okay.
Yeah.
You know, they could talk to you, they weren't the arrogant swords that they are now. There's a lot of them.
Jim McCallie and George Graeme.
Exactly.
I mean, I was just running about. I was that exciting. Said, no, son, just stay. Go and stand over there. Go stand there. Go stand over there, and we'll get the ball to you in a wee minute. And just loads of wee things. I know I was right in the turn. I said, go, son. I remember there was and one of the first things you learn, and I was in the first team, and I was in early. I'd only played 2 or 3 games at Old Trafford. And I made this run down the right. And I'm running. A wee Lou McCarry's on the ball. Frank's mate. A wee Lou's on the ball. And as I'm running, I'm saying, he's never gonna find me his pass. And I stopped. And when I stopped, he played the ball. And it arrived where I should have been. And I went straight out for a goal kick. And he said, what'd you stop for? I said, as I'm running, I think, you'll never find me with this pass. It's too difficult. He said, no. He said, just you make the runs. And good players will find you. Just you make the run and good players will find you. And I always remember that.
You didn't say that.
No, don't.
He was a good player. He was a good player. He was a great player.
And Lou was...
What better player when he was manager?
The older players. Yeah, well, that's... But, I mean, I was having a hard time. And one of the players came to me, and I'll tell you who it was. It was Frank's mate again. Right? It was wee Lou, and he came and he just said to me, "You all right?" And I said, "Oh, jeez, I've got 50,000 people booing me every 2 weeks, you know." And he says, "That's all right." He said, "Listen," and the way he put it over was, "You're always on the ball, you know." He says, "If you could have 1,000 kicks and make 999 mistakes because you're always looking to get the ball, where other people might
hide a wee bit.
Have 10.
Aye.
They've only had 10 kicks. They've had a good game. You're walking, as the way he put it, you're walking down the street. Do you go to a game a day? Yeah. Did you go? No. And the fella didn't go. He said, what was Nicholl like? Fucking hopeless. Hopeless. Kept doing this. He kept knocking the ball over the bar. Kept finding him. Couldn't pass. Said, right. And how'd so-and-so do? Usual steady game. That's because he's been right. You see when he put it over to me like that?
Yeah.
I stopped worrying.
Aye, yeah.
I don't care if you make 989 mistakes. And Tommy Docherty would keep you in the team.
Yeah.
And even though you were, and he was more or less saying the same thing. The first time you walk in the position where you can't receive the ball from your teammate. So Frank was outside left. Instead of standing here to get it, and I walked towards Frank outside left. Oh, don't give it to me, I'm being marked. You're out the team.
Yeah.
And all them things. So after that, I virtually just went out and played and thought.
I hate to see that. Even playing with teammates, you can tell they don't want the ball. You know, and I thought, you know what, why?
Yeah.
It's the only way you're going to get your confidence back.
Yeah. And usually the ones.
If I missed the chance, I didn't want to hide, I'd go and get another one.
Yeah, I've seen that in McCoist.
Aye, you got
I've seen
it.
that in McCoist.
I think
McCoist never put his head down, all these
no.
dramatics, missed and all.
Blame somebody else.
Yeah, you just keep his head up and have a look and,
yeah.
You know, and that's,
it's a good way to be.
It's a great way to be.
It's a good way to be.
Yeah, well, you need more than, and your thing I learned whenever it takes more than ability to make it. You got to have something in your personality there, in your character.
The thing is as well, there's great saying, and it's all the older boys, but I remember Ronaldo saying it, and it's, you know, ability is nothing without hard work. And I think a lot of players now tend to forget that.
Yeah.
You know, they've got umpteen ability, but they don't put the shift in.
Yeah.
You know, and at your club, Man United down there, you know, I think Rashford's a wonderful player, but I just don't see him having it. He doesn't. He used to chase when he lost the ball. He doesn't do it now. And I'm thinking, you're just a wonderful player. Why are you not chasing?
I know.
Why are you not wanting to get the ball back? And it's spread through the team. I mean, they let McTominay go, and I wasn't the biggest fan of his, but he's done a wonderful job for Man United. Now he's doing in Napoli.
Yeah,
It's incredible.
Do you still kind of go to Old Trafford quite regularly? Do you get a chance?
I haven't been for years, but I've got a former players lounger. So if I can't get down Saturdays because I was either managing or assistant managing or, you know, having to be Northern Ireland looking at players. So I don't, but I would get down Wednesday or whatever night it was for the European games and see them all and all the boys doing the lounges.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Green from me, Lou and all this, Gordon, Big Gordon and all these boys. And you get the Arthur Albiston and all, just all them boys from the 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought
It must be a strange kind of place to be in the post-Fergie era, you know, when they had so much success over such a sustained period, and then since then it's just been year after year after year of Man U underachieving, you know. What do you put it down to? Is it simple, it's just huge shoes to fill, and all these successive managers been unable to recreate it?
Well, they always said one of them was he was unlucky because he was the first one to replace Celtic. And they always said the next one should be but that proved as well. It was how hard a job was.
Chalice.
Yeah.
See, so when Mourinho goes in, you think, great.
Well, we were talking about it. I mean, Mourinho went in second in the league, won the Europa League, and won the FA Cup. It was either the FA Cup or the League Cup.
Yeah.
In 1 year and get sacked.
But that shows you the expectations of
Yeah, but it's never happened since.
Yeah.
And all he did was come out and slaughter the players. He slaughtered Pogba. Says it was a virus. And I'm thinking, that's... He done well, Pogba, when Zlatan Ibrahimovic was there.
Yeah.
Because he had him under his wing, kept controlling him. And it was what a player.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he left, and that's when Pogba started playing up.
Yeah, I know.
And what a talent.
I know that.
And Shaw as well. And Shaw's been on it, but proven he was a bit overweight, but he's thinned down and he's back in the England team and all that. He's injured now.
Why should it be any different with different managers? I mean, you're out there to play football.
Yeah, it shouldn't bother you.
I know that, listen, I know different managers give you confidence. One in playing you, starting you, and the way they talk to you. So there's a way of handling. But experienced managers should know what the different characters are in each player and how to handle each player. And that's why whenever Mourinho went in, I thought, right, good. That didn't happen. Well, he won things, but they got rid of him.
Yeah.
Van Gaal goes in, said, great. He won't suffer any fools either. I didn't.
Yeah.
And they might have won things, but there's still something that wasn't like a collective. I don't know.
My idea of it is, the recruitment, because when we played, or even now when you do it, it's not just about how much of talent you've got. Can you fit into that dressing room? Have you got the personality to go in the dressing room? I don't think they look at that now. And I think that's a big thing in football. You come in, don't say nothing, just sit there, and, it doesn't form in a good team. I think a team's...
Do you not think they look into that? No.
I don't. Well, I can't see. Everyone walks about with headphones on and they don't talk to each other.
Oh, well, I remember that. Well, see that? Yeah.
I'm playing right back there.
Yeah.
A few things to get through, because such a career you've had, playing 2 World Cups, obviously what talk about the time with Rangers, and loads of other things. But the time in Northern Ireland, the World Cups, I'd love to hear recollections of that. That game again, beating Spain in 1982, you were on the pitch?
Yeah. Listen.
What a result that was.
Well, we celebrate that every 10 years. No, what you do?
I know.
Northern Ireland's never going to win the World Cup.
No.
So you end up turning whatever. So we end up every 10 years being together, and they get together, and 20 years, and then 30 years, and they turn to think, it's only a game of football, but they'll turn into, you haven't won nothing, you've only won 1 game. But then the older I got, I thought,
I know.
No.
Brilliant. Celebrate it. Great result.
Because all of it, if you're getting to in the Europe Hotel, we'll get 250, 300 people.
Do you know what? One thing I always sticks in my memory about the 1982 World Cup, and obviously Northern Ireland did what Scotland had never done and get out of the group stages, and then they played the wee mini round robin with, I think it was it France and Austria. Was it Noel Brotherton that couldn't play in one of the games because it was a Sunday? Have I misrecalled that?
No, that was 86.
Was that 86?
86. Johnny Jamison was a Christian or whatever.
Aye.
Can you play on a Sunday?
No. And Billy says, Johnny, I'm playing you Sunday. He says, well, I can't because of... But Billy knew he wouldn't be able to play, so he just told him that to make him feel better.
Brilliant. Can you imagine that now? Because there's that many games on a Sunday. And some chicken.
And because it's a Sabbath, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah, but nearly 2. We went after the... Geez, when I think back, I mean, I shouldn't really say because it's really unprofessional, but seeing the Friday night, we didn't go to bed the Sunday morning.
No.
And then Billy Bingham gets, God love him, lost Billy. He's a great. And we didn't even have a hotel to go to. We're leaving on Sunday, and to go to Madrid. And but didn't have a hotel. The AFA had to go and look for a hotel because they had the flights booked for flying home Sunday.
After the group stages?
Yeah. So then we went to Madrid. I remember Billy came to me, and Big Billy Hamilton, Geordie Dunlop, he waved us over. He says, all right, boys. Right, you've had a good weekend there. Right, get the football head back on, right? But it was just one of them nights, you think. But these days you turn around, we're back to the hotel. But then we went and got the jeans and the shirts on, we went out. And you never thought anything of it.
No.
But
no phones.
These days you would...
No phones. Nobody can film you and put it on social media.
What was Martin O'Neill like as a teammate?
Steve Martin, listen, I love him because the way he was and the way he talks and and the way he is. I'm just, I can't remember what company I was in and why I was, but I was in his company, and somebody asked me the question, and I said, he was just he was an inspirational captain. He spoke. There was one game at Windsor Park, and I've got the ball, and as I get it, and I just floated a wee ball into the second striker, you know, and first one came and it into second striker, and Martin's there in the middle of the park, right? He said, marvellous, Jimmy, a marvellous pass. I mean, a wonderful, wonderful pass. I said, yeah, well, all right. No, truly wonderful, Jimmy. No, I'm telling you, it was a lovely, lovely pass. I said, Martin, you should be up there supporting the striker. Never mind talking to me about a fucking wonderful pass, you know. No, it really was truly wonderful. You know. And so he made you feel good that way. And he was
brilliant.
But on the Sunday nights, we'd get together in Northern Ireland, and first of all was Danny Blanchflower, and then Danny would say, "You can have a couple of beers, lads, with Double Even Hotel." Sunday nights with Northern Ireland. That's what I love about the game, the camaraderie.
Yeah.
And with Northern Ireland, at Man United, all right, but you're not, you know, you're only a player. You got the big names, no, but but you're thankful you're playing, but you're not. But the camaraderie with Northern Ireland, I used to love that. Yeah. And then after, Danny used to say, with dinner at 7 o'clock, I said, right, you can have a couple of beers, lads, with Double Even Hotel. And then everybody would be there. Martin's telling us Brian Clough stories. We were talking about Tommy Docherty, you know, the Sammy Nelson and all these boys. Yeah. Then even the Irish League players, and everybody was brilliant.
Camaraderie, brilliant.
It was brilliant. And you never ever, I loved Danny Blanchflower, and so you didn't disrespect him, you didn't step out of line, you know. And Billy was the same. Now Billy was the opposite. Billy was disciplined. Yeah. No, bed 11 o'clock, we're up your door, the whole shooting match. Now see, you're joking, aren't you? But not allowed out, and see that discipline. You rebelled against it a wee bit. You think, what the hell's going on? And then all of a sudden you get a result. And you're only there from Sunday to Wednesday. So I always say to the lads, now we're away for 10 days. You have no choice. You can't go, if the manager doesn't like you at a club level, go and get yourself a transfer list and go. You'll get in our club. You have no choice. So with Northern Ireland, take 10 days out of your life and just do things properly and do what the manager said and pump and enjoy it. And
you've spoken a wee bit, I've heard you speaking in your after dinner routine. It's very funny about playing at Windsor Park in the height of troubles, and a lot of visiting countries and teams who come and play, and that must have been quite an experience for them. Not so much for you.
Well, it nearly happened again, because we're supposed to play in Belarus in 2 weeks. We weren't going to play at Windsor Park. It was like a throwback to the 70s and 80s when the teams wouldn't come. To go and play Spain and Hull and all, even up to 1980-81 for the home championships. England wouldn't come because of trouble, with a bit of trouble in one of the games for it. And but the Germans came, and remember wee boy Danny Wilson?
Yes.
And Danny Wilson, and the English boy. You get in the Northern Ireland squad, I don't need a couple of pints of Caffreys or something. They get in. Anyway, on the Wednesday night we're playing the Germans, and they were already out in the pitch. And there's a pitch. And we come down here, and there's a railway stand, that's a cab. And they're here in the centre circle. And Steele again, Matthias and all them boys, and Rumen again. So they're all there looking good. And we were just walking down the pitch. And the railway stand, beyond the railway stand out in the street, there was a garage, and somebody decided to blow the garage up. Boom. Smoke, the alarms go off the back. And the Germans are all running past us in the dressing room. Whatever that was. And Danny Wilson said to me, Jimmy, what was that? I says, I don't know, Danny. Maybe a 40, 50 pounder. I don't know. We were checking the pitch. Looks like a long stunt tonight.
But
whenever people
did the Germans come back out? Did they?
Well, we beat them 1-0, but they didn't come out to 9 o'clock, Frank.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to stop it there quickly because time's moving on. But a quick reminder as well, if you're enjoying the podcast, and I'm sure you are, hit the subscribe button, do all the usual stuff, follow us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the usual stuff.
Yeah, we've got plenty of views, but we just don't get them. Not enough subscribers, so press that
I
button.
think we're done all right.
We've done all right, but the amount of views we've had, if everyone
keep
just
going.
presses subscribe.
So we do a thing called Frank's for the Memories, right? And I test the guest on Frank's life and times. So I've got some questions for you here.
I
right,
don't
to
even
see.
know anything about this, so
Now, some of them are
Apart from reading them there.
I haven't read them. I can't see that.
So he doesn't get to answer them,
I don't
although
get
you'll probably beat him.
probably.
So first one is, so Frank won the SBFA Young Player of the Year in Scotland in either 1982 or 1984. Which of the two do you think it was?
The Young Player of the Year.
Young Player of the Year, I know.
Yeah, but 1982.
You're absolutely right.
I thought it was right.
84, he was an established player.
I thought it was 83.
So the second one is Frank scored his only, and correct me if I'm wrong, it was his only European goal for Celtic in October 1988, and it was either against, no, I'm not expecting you to know this, but it's a 50-50, against Honved of Hungary or Partizan Belgrade.
Oh, the Partizan Belgrade.
No, it was Honved.
Was it?
The following season.
European goal.
Aye.
He scored 2 that night.
No, he didn't.
Aye, I did.
We'll check it in a wee
They
minute.
gave it to somebody else, but it was me that scored it.
Aye, but they gave it to someone else. So officially, the record books have you as one goal. But
Oh, see.
Oh, it was against
All right, so they're hungry it
Gave it
was.
Starkey.
Right, here's one for you. When he went down to sign for West Ham, he went down with a pal of his and he went to Live Aid. Who opened Live Aid? Was it Status Quo or U2?
That's an easy one.
Status Quo.
It was rocking all over the world.
Rocking on, that was an
Yeah,
easy one. You wouldn't
Status Quo.
put you two on first.
Yeah.
They go on.
Yeah.
They go on. They're big stars, weren't they?
This is an interesting one. See if you know the answer to this. So
Two you've had, done it?
1992, Frank signed for a team in Northern Ireland.
92.
92. Did he play for Cliftonville or Glentoran?
You didn't, did you? 1982 you went?
92, aye.
Well, listen. My first thought's Cliftonville.
You're correct. It was
Well, it
Cliftonville.
would
One
be,
game.
you know.
One game.
I wouldn't have you in East Belfast. I had to go up the west. you had one
I went
game.
over for one game. They said I was going to Hong Kong. I know I shouldn't say this, but it all changed. I was going to Hong Kong on the Friday and says we've got a semi-final on the Tuesday. I said I can't. I'm going to Hong Kong. He says how can we do this? So my agent says why don't you sign him? Come over and sign him on the Monday. He'll come over, play the game, and then release him on the Wednesday. Because you have to sign a month. That was the most you can sign, or the least you can sign. So I signed for a month on a Tuesday, on a Monday. Went over, played next Tuesday, scored and made a penalty, got a penalty and all that. They won the semi-final, got to the final, and they're all saying, wow, you're looking forward to the final? Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, brilliant. I get released on the Wednesday and I went to Hong Kong. So I've got one and only girl that's laughed, brilliant.
Well, I had one game for Bath City when I was sacked at Millwall.
Right.
And you can sign off after 55 minutes.
I did, aye.
I read
For
that
Bath,
today, aye.
yeah, I know.
Aye. But before we go down that road, another quick question then. Frank lost out to another striker for the Golden Boot in 1985-86 season. Which striker was it? Which big name English striker picked Frank for the Golden Boot when he was playing for West Ham?
85, 86. Lineker.
Well done.
Well done.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
So I could have sworn that was Partizan Belgrade.
Well, that was the following season was a famous game.
Following season, so
Celtic,
just out by a season.
Celtic beat them 5-4. Jakanowski scored 4
I was
goals
away. I
that
was
day.
away.
Aye.
I was over that time.
What a night that must have been.
Aye.
My best European night, not my best, but one of the memories. We got beat 4-0 by Porto in Porto, Portugal, Man U, Cup Winners' Cup. And we got back to Old Trafford. 1-0. 2-0 half time we scored. 3-0. Place was jumping. 3-1. 4-1. 5-1. And we thought we were through and then
They scored.
scored
Again.
6-5. But we got beat. But just that, you know that feeling, the crowd playing football.
I know.
And it's just building and building.
We got a draw in Honved, and And it was funny because Mick McCarthy was arguing with the gaffer because Billy had sent one of his pals, Mick Jackson, to go and watch Honved, see what they're like. He says, push them right up. He says, they'll never hit the ball over the top. So we've trained all week pushing out. Big Mick Roy pushing out to this halfway line. Kick off, bing, bing, pinged it right at the top. Right on the top of Big Mick's head. He's going, you fucking stupid. So we get beat over there. And the gaffer said, if you don't take 4 off this mob, you're all going to George Square and pulling your trousers down. That was great team talk. So we did, we won 4. So we got 4, we beat them, battered them.
Still got lots to talk about. Time is
know.
running on because it's brilliant. Really enjoying this. But obviously, having even touched on your time at Rangers, which would have been, I mean, that fulfilling a boyhood dream. What's your recollections of how that all unfolded?
Well, the first time I was in Toronto, and so I had a 3-year contract, and in the summer of summer of '82, I was signed for Toronto Blizzards, and I tell that one because I was born in Canada, I had a wee choice. Because I had a wee choice, I could play for Toronto Blizzards or Vancouver Whitecaps, and I chose Toronto because I got paid 3 hours earlier. Oh, I won't say where it is, but there's some dinners I speak at and it goes some right over their heads.
What does he mean?
So anyway,
I'll tell you after.
right. So it was a Toronto Blizzards 3-year contract, and so we played, say, April to October. If you got the finals, it was October, and then the boys would then have the winter off. So the indoor football was scrapped. And they would go to Florida and Bermuda and have their holidays, then go back pre-season training about February, March. But I had to keep my Northern Ireland place. So whoever wanted me in Britain for 6 months could have me. So the first time I went to Southern Real in Durban and loved it 6 months. Kirsty was there, Frank Worthington and all. 6 months. I loved the Roker Park. Sunderland. Only getting crowds of 12, 15. It wasn't. But I remember Big Frank came in one morning, and one of his girlfriends was a page 3 girl. And one of the boys says, Big Frank's girlfriend's on page 3. So he gets a paper and he folds a paper, but you can't see her face, you just see her body. And he pins it up in the notice board. And he pins it up in the notice board. Big Frank walks in for training, he walks in and he goes, morning, love. And just walks straight on. He recognised her body, you know.
Ah, brilliant.
So that's tremendous. And it was a young Alan McCoy, of course, as well.
And that's why I went from St. Johnson. Playing at a difficult time, but he was well liked. But I'm saying a difficult time, whatever. You know, but we all in Durban, and Mick Docherty was the assistant manager. But at 6 months there the first time. Then back to Toronto, and we're doing great in Toronto. 2 finals I got, 2 in 3 years. It was great. So Knickers, that was my nickname, Knickers. Big Brian Bud used to, Bruce, right, you're Knickers. Morning, Knickers. So 2 or 3 years, two finals in 3 years. It was great. And I remember the manager Bob Houghton came to me, and he says he came to meet me in the hotel, Skyline Hotel. And just when I say, he says, right, Jimmy, great, good to see you and all. But you'll need to play outside right, because the right back, I'm a wee bit scared of him. So we play right back until we'll see. I said, what? He said, I'm scared of the right back. If it's dropping, could be my days will be numbered. So I didn't realise what. I says, all right, I'll play outside right. I said, I've never played. I can't dribble and beat left backs. And so it was, so I did it. But I had to say to the striker, I can't beat the left back with a trick. I don't have a trick. So I need you to come and, instead of just waiting on the cross, come and, I'll just think a wee show 1-2. I'll beat the full back with 1-2, then you get in the box. And David Byrne, his name was, and Big Neil, the centre forward, Neil Roberts, South African. And I played outside right for 3 years. I loved it. Right. I mean, I did goals and all. I was scoring headers, the back post and all. But I don't know, what was it?
I was Rangers.
Rangers. So then 6 months in, I'd go to Rangers. So the second time, I got a phone call and says, you coming back for, do you want to go to Rangers? Yes, brilliant. So I did, signed for John Gregg on a Thursday night. 9 o'clock at night, over at Ibrox, walked across the road to Belfast Hotel. The Swallow Hotel on the Belfast Road, and went to the train on Friday morning, and we're all kicking a ball about in the tunnel thing, and wee Tony O'Crane says, "Right lads, meeting." I said about John McClellan, "What's a meeting for?" He says, "John, the manager always has a meeting about last Saturday's game, the game coming up." So I was sitting there, and John walked in and says, "Been thinking about this for a while, lads." So I said, "I'm going to pack it in." I just signed at 9 o'clock the night before.
Wow.
And he just went around shaking everybody's hand. He said, "Good luck to you, good luck to you, good luck to me."
Walked out. Is that right?
And away he went. Wee Tommy looked after the team for a couple of games. And then Big Jack Wallace got, Big Jack got the job. And but them days was only 10, 11, 12,000 in Ibrox. I remember my first game. And because Big John was in Northern Ireland, and he said, "Jim, what are you doing?" So I'm going back to the hotel now, just get ready. And he said, "Double going out the front door. Come with me." None of the boys went out the front door. We're down the side, down the tunnel, down the Copeland Road, and out that way. Because the crowd waiting for you outside.
Aye.
So it was the
Because
biggest
things
time.
weren't so good, you mean?
Aye.
Aye.
So, but I didn't have that. I didn't have that sort of feeling. In fact, I was still full. This
Still
is
being
great.
wanted to play for Rangers.
I never get the chance to work with John Gregg and play for him. And I see him now, and I think, God, I wonder what.
What it would have been
But
like.
Big Jack was there, and he was talking about how he was going to turn things around, and you know, and he did.
Aye.
And he did. You just got the feeling that things are going to change, and
Yeah.
and then they won the League Cup final, of course. And that was the start of it.
Yeah.
When they won the League Cup, they beat Celtic 3-2, Coisty's hat-trick,
That's right. Aye.
84.
Yeah.
And then after that, I left to go back to Toronto. And then I thought that was it. And Jack made me captain my last day against Celtic. As if I didn't need any encouragement, you know.
Aye.
He makes me
You beat.
captain. And got sent off, and after what? So, no, we win 1-0.
Aye.
Bobby Williamson scored an overhead kick.
God, yeah, I remember
And
that.
I got
Never
sent
shut up
off. It
about
was a wee petty thing, but I got kicked a few times. You know, I thought, Jesus, I was a wee stupid. I went to, anyway, it didn't matter. I shouldn't. But I'm sitting in his restroom, and it's straw hats and trumpets. You can imagine. And then Big Jock comes and says, "You Nicholl, you're the luckiest man in the world." He says, "You're going to Toronto Monday." He said, "If we hadn't won that game after you getting sent off, I'd have kicked your arse so hard you wouldn't have needed a plane. You'd have fucking landed in Toronto." But I love you.
Your second time was part of the Souness revolution as well.
And the second time was, again, it's about being in the right place at the right time. It's a bit like starting off. I was playing for the 17th Abbey in Belfast, in Rathcoole. And we were playing in Belfast, and the senior team was playing the junior team. I was in the juniors, 14 years of age. But somebody got injured in the seniors, and the captain, Raymond Miller, said, "You're playing for the senior team." I went and played for the senior team up in the UC grounds in Belfast. And this wee man went to BB captain and says, "Can I talk to him?" With the red hair. And it was Bob Bishop, the Man United scout. He came over, he says, "Would you like to go and trial at Man United, son?" So that's me in the right place at the right time.
Yes, of course.
And I was dead lucky, really lucky, because there was better players than me. My two brothers were better players than me. But you just get a wee break. And I got a wee break at Rangers because I was coming back in a plane from Mexico. And Frank and all the drunken Scottish players were on before us.
You're in the same
So they were on the plane, and they stopped.
Can you imagine that now?
And they stopped to pick us up.
Oh,
and
my God.
They took us on, and we were all in the same plane, but they were
Drinking
well on.
competition.
Ahead of the
It
game.
was a drinking competition.
Yeah, so they were well
Norman
on.
won it. Norman
It was-
Whiteside won it. He was the only one that could walk.
Yeah, they were well on, and then we joined them. And Stevie Nicholl, it was the funniest thing I've ever seen. He had them glasses, you know, and the wire things and the eyeballs going out. And he's going up and down the plane. He says, and he's going about, I'll never forget, he's pretending he's writing it down. He was asking, "Oh no, what do you think? What have the Brazilians ever done for football?" And it was just, and he
brilliant.
went to Bingham. Yeah. Billy goes, get the fuck away. So they calmed down. It was great. They calmed down. And everybody took a wee lull. And I went to the back of the plane. And Graeme was there with Charlie, maybe yourself or something like that. I can't remember who. And I didn't know. I was at West Brom at the time. And I didn't know Graeme was going to be the manager of Rangers.
Yeah.
And he said, Jimmy, you've been at Rangers, haven't you? I says, I was there 6 months. I loved it. It was great. And I said, just fulfilled an ambition. Because when you're a kid and you're dreaming about things, you're dreaming about playing for, first of all, Linfield. You don't set your... So, Linfield, Man United, Rangers, Northern Ireland. And he ended up, well, I didn't do Linfield, but I did. So he says, I said, so that was it. But he never said nothing. He never said, well, I'm the new manager. You know, that never happened. And then Ron Saunders was the manager of West Brom. Wasn't getting on with him. I was training with the kids and all, pre-season. And the Wednesday, before the first game, Saturday, famous game at Easter Road, he came Tuesday or Wednesday, he turned around and says, Graeme Souness has been on the phone to Rangers, Bobby Williamson's up there. So he's coming down here to West Brom and you're going up a road.
Fantastic.
I was out that door. I was off that pitch and away I went, got my boots and up the road. Up the road Thursday, signed Thursday, train Friday, Easter Road on Saturday.
That was the game. As soon as he was sent off, was that the George McCluskey?
So they were all involved. So
you fulfilled all your dreams then? You played for the teams you wanted to? You played for Linfield, Man United?
No, I didn't play for Linfield because I left.
Of course.
Yeah, I went straight to
your dream was to do that.
But I won a competition. I was taking to take penalties for Linfield in a penalty kick competition when I was about at Cliftonville. And they were throwing bricks at me. I was running in to take a penalty and the bricks are coming that way. And here, take the penalties for Linfield. Nicholl from Rathcoole.
Brilliant.
Before we wrap up, because time's moving on again, your managerial highlights would probably be the League Cup final for Raith Rovers against Celtic in the famous penalty shootout.
Yeah. I mean, listen, see when you start, and I keep saying the same thing, but look, he's a great career he's had and the level he's played. I always had the feeling, listen, I was lucky to play at clubs with good players, and you always feel a wee bit part, you know. But see when you see these boys at Raith Rovers and they were part-time when they started, and the kids were YTS kids, Jason Dern, Stevie Crawford and me, Colin Cameron, and all these kids, and you see them all achieving what they achieved after 6 years there, and I loved it. And when you see that and you build something, and fair play to the club, the club let me go full time as much as I could. I said, if you want to achieve anything, you've got to go full time. Give yourselves a chance. So they did, and that was one of the occasions you think, look at these boys here, you know.
Appreciate them more.
Yeah. And the only thing I ever said to them was it was the last time the League Cup winners represented Scotland in Europe the following season. That was never going to happen again.
Sure.
Says, you're 90 minutes away from Europe. That's basically it. People said, oh, it must be great, Jimmy. You know, you beat Celtic and you're a Rangers background. I never ever thought that. I never said that. These Raith Rovers players and the club itself said, you're 90 minutes away from Europe. That's all they used to say to them. And then I says, you're 30 minutes away from Europe. You're a fucking baldy kick away from Europe. I just, you know. And it was brilliant, so it was great. And then to go on them European nights as well, they were just all memories.
Leading Bayern at half time. There's a picture that pops up in my Facebook quite a lot. I've got a Raith Rovers supporting Facebook friend. I think that's his profile pictures. That scoreboard in Munich. Bayern 0, Raith Rovers 1.
I know. See things like that. I know. And at half time, and I went up the tunnel because I'd never seen that. I went up the tunnel, and I was thinking about Martin Harvey no longer with us. He was a great assistant for me. I thought I better just keep down there because they're going to come out as a second half, so I better watch what I say. And but I seen Franz Beckenbauer and Uli Honus,
Yes.
and they were boys from upstairs. As I'm going to the dressing room, they're coming down to their dressing room. All the boys come in, and I was starting to talk, and all I hear is, again, it's like a throwback to that German game in Northern Ireland. All I hear is Beckenbauer or Hunus and the other just, Ilchen Wilchen Crawford, Ilchen Wilchen Cameron, Ilchen Wilchen Dennis. They were shouting as if to say, hey, are these boys beating you 1-0? I said, Crawford, Dan, they're all listening. And I could hear it.
Didn't have to do
So I
it.
said, listen, I'd say that Franz, and later on was Franz Beckenbauer. That's Franz Beckenbauer. And he's mentioning all your names. Listen to that, that's what they're saying. And they're all up on their, up on them thing like this. Yes. They're all listening for the names, you know. And it turned into a laughing thing at half time, which was probably the best thing. And it just cut the tension in the team.
Yeah.
They got down, and then about 5 minutes in the second half, Tony Rozier had a chance to make it 2-0. From there, from an angle, so but I didn't miss it, and then God love him, Ronnie Coyle, he's no longer with us, stood on the ball, took it off and bumped, Klinsmann scored and bumped. And anyway, they could beat them 2-1. But things like that, they're the ones.
Yeah, big memories.
Yeah, but the best thing after that was that was November, was we were 13, 14 points behind Dundee to win the league. And we went to Dundee, got beat 2-1 about the first week in January. And Dundee beat us 2. I said, listen, see that performance? They were way up there from the cup and all, and we couldn't adjust from being relegated. And I said, we're, if we win every game from here now to the end of the season with that performance, even though you'll win it. And we did. And see after that, and we were 13, 14, 15 points behind.
Brilliant.
And they won every game. We never lost a game. And we drew with Hamilton at Partick Thistle because they were ground sharing, 0 each.
Yeah.
And they won the league. And people forget it because of the cup.
Sure.
But that meant just as much
That's
to me.
incredible.
And that was my last game for Raith, because they were getting promoted. I thought, I can't play in the SPL again. And Big David Neary, who was brilliant for us, that was his last game as well. So, he was a good player.
No, that's an hour we've just sat
And
there.
this has been the
reminiscing.
longest, yeah. And we could talk for another 3 hours, but
Yeah, I
We're
know.
talking about 2.5 hours at Man United, talking about it.
just an hour. We'll maybe trim it down a wee bit, right? And I think the young folk have no attention span now, you know. Ask them to watch an hour-long podcast.
I know.
But that was thoroughly
Majority
enjoyable.
of gentlemen will listen to this. That's
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
I know, it's just, you
Great insight.
can't touch into everything, you're right.
I know.
But thanks for giving me a time, because you can I like being serious now and again.
Oh, you go to him, and I'm always
Just
the
for
same.
people just don't know, you know.
I'm the same, but when I talk to people like yourself and the other players, you just sit and listen. And it's great, because everyone's got a story.
I know. I remember
That's what I like.
see the first time I went to Rangers, I rented a house in Uddingston, and Sue and the kids were still in Manchester. I thought, oh fuck, I'll go for a walk. And I went for a walk, and I ended up in fucking Angels. Fucking Harry Hood's pub.
He was happy there.
Aye. So it was 12 till 2 then. Right? It was 12 till 2, the drinking hours. And I didn't really know anybody at Rangers. Nobody invited me out and all that. I thought, so I said, I walked in about 1:15 or something. And this bloke says, all right, Jimmy, what are you doing in here? The boy behind the bar. What are you doing here? I said, I've just moved into the house in Uddingston there, so I like my Sunday lunch. And Sunday lunch in Manchester with the boys, I like. And he says, well, you'll soon find out. He says, I'm Harry Hood.
Aye.
I love all the old football knowledge. You're joking, Celtic. He says, He said, oh, brilliant, pleased to meet you. And I said, that's great. And he says, you want to stay for the lock-in? And I said, what? they're looking. And so was the local lads. He says, no, he said, I clear everybody out. And then the boys come in. Fucking Jimmy Baxter.
Oh,
Jimmy, they were all in there.
Superb.
They all come in. I was fucking...
Jimmy Johnson. And
they all had... and he just put their bottles down there. And the only reason I mention it, because of what you said, he's just sitting, you know, I'm like, once I get into the older company,
he's brilliant, isn't
I
it?
just sit and listen to him.
Yeah.
I know.
Just fucking... No.
Well, it's been great for me as well, listening to, obviously I'm Frank every week, but every week we get a guest with great memories and, you know, and brilliant stories, and yours have been absolutely fantastic. But time has unfortunately caught with us.
Yeah.
But Jimmy, thanks a million for coming on. We'll get you on again at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
And
we've got sit for an hour.
Oh, brilliant. Well, yeah. Well,
Sit for an hour, it's great.
And
I really enjoyed that.
A wee reminder every day, as I said earlier, hit the subscribe button, do all the usual stuff, and follow Let Me Be Frank podcast. And we'll see you again next week with another pretty special guest. Cheers.
Take care.